Thinking about moving to Miami, but don't want to live in downtown Brickell or South Beach, as LeBron said? Well, you're in the right place. I'm going to take you through all the suburbs right outside of downtown Miami proper, where you could live, have a backyard, enjoy life, and you're still really close to living in downtown Miami, but not living that condo life or stacked up on top of people. So my name's Victor, and I'll take you through it right after this. Welcome to the Move Miami channel. My name is Victor Ruiz. I've been a real estate broker and an attorney here in Miami for the last 12 years. And I'd like to introduce you guys to some different spots in Miami that you may not be aware of. So especially for people who are living in the downtown Brickell area, South Beach area, and are looking to live in suburban life but still enjoy everything Miami has to offer. Or you're not from Miami and looking to learn about those different suburbs, you're in the right place. This is the channel for you, and I'd like to take you guys through all the 10 or 11 best suburbs that we've got here around the surrounding areas of downtown Miami. This particular video is going to be a bird's eye view, giving you information about each of the suburbs that are just outside of Miami's urban core. And we'll go into further videos into each one of these to talk to you about sites, different homes and different price ranges in each of them and what you can expect from each one of them. But this particular video is going to be a big highlight overview. Let's hop into my laptop right now and go over some of the Miami suburbs. Let's get into my first favorite suburb right outside of downtown Miami, and that is Coral Gables, nicknamed the City Beautiful. So Coral Gables is a long city. Coral Gables has a lot bigger lots. It's tree-lined streets, and Coral Gables stretches all down here. This whole triangle right here, this is the downtown area. I'd split it into three. Then you've got the midsection here where the University of Miami is, and then you've got the most expensive homes, which are the ones bordering the water to the south. All right, that's where Coco Plum is, and that is the most desirable place. If you're going to keep your boat, keep it on the water, you can keep it at the Coco Plum Yacht Club. All right, so starting off in downtown, up here, you've got a lot of different businesses in this area. So in this area, in downtown, you've got a lot of different condos and a great bustling downtown area. This is where my first law firm was at, and I love being able to walk out at lunch. Scenes were perfect. There was a lot of outdoor restaurants. There's a bunch of places to go right up this alley here. This is Ponce de Leon Boulevard. There's some great new development going up around here. And all these streets are tree lined. So all the houses that are in this neighborhood right out here in North Gables is fantastic, very desirable. This section of Coral Gables is fantastic. I would absolutely, if you can find one of these old Mediterranean homes, you would absolutely love living in them. The only thing is they were built in the 20s, and so some of these homes are historic. So if you're getting into a home that's a designated historic home, it's got a lot of character, you have to be aware that there's certain architectural restrictions on making modifications to those types of homes. So I would definitely make sure you use someone knowledgeable when you're looking for homes in Coral Gables, because you may be like certain of the homes that are right around this golf course are designated historic, as well as some of the ones down Coral Gate, this street right here down Coral Way. You've got a designated historic area as well. So again, beautiful, a lot of tree cover, a lot of canopy. Very well-run city, but you know, your proximity into downtown Gables, if that's where you're driving every day, is absolutely nothing. And if you are traversing into downtown Miami, I mean, your ride time from Coral Gables over to downtown Miami is absolutely a short little drive. I mean, we're talking 20 minutes, and that's with traffic right now. At this time of the day, it could be 15 minutes. You're not happy to hop on any highways. So let's say you lived in Coral Gables or in North Gables and worked in downtown, you're talking about a 20-minute ride. If you lived a little further south, or you were attending the University of Miami, you know, let's say you're a student, University of Miami is right down here in this midsection in what I call the Golden Triangle. Your commute into Brickell and downtown for these young students, a lot of them decide to live in Brickell and reverse commute back to the University of Miami. So they want to be in, you know, the young urban scene and the urban core that's growing up. I mean, as you guys know, this is downtown Miami, so the flow of traffic flows this way in the morning. Well, not like that one, that way. Flows that way. So as you can see, as you get further away from the urban core, the more you're gonna have to deal with traffic. So after that, we're talking the last section and the most prominent section in Coral Gables where you'd wanna be in, obviously, is the southern half. The Golden Triangle is great. It gives you, a lot of access to downtown Coral Gables and also downtown to downtown Miami. But this southern section right here, and I'm gonna draw it out for you, is probably the most desirable and where the most expensive homes are in Coral Gables. The lots are bigger and people generally are, I'd say, more spaced apart, and you've got a lot more tree cover down in this southern section over here. So this area right here from the University of Miami South, this gets you into sort of, this starts South Miami, which is another neighborhood that we'll cover in this video. But again, this section right here, I'm gonna draw with this section here, is the most desirable area to be in. This little area that we're talking about is Gables Estates and Old Cutler Bay. I did a big deal here last year, right here on the point, 1280 Arvida. This is a wonderful community. They're all acre lots. This is where, if you've got an 80, 100-foot yacht and you want to live in Miami, this is where you'd like to be, followed by Old Cutler Bay. And lastly, you could also be living in Coco Plum, which has got a nice marina, or in Sunrise Harbor. Again, all these are the most exclusive waterfront communities that I'd like to live in as a resident, versus being down here where you've got, this is where the rest of the people would be. Any more about this area, we can talk a little bit more in the future, but again, got a beautiful downtown area, good restaurants, excellent place to do business, eat, play, and live. There's just great quality of life, especially if you like to live in the urban core area. This is where you'd want to be, versus if you'd want to be boating and on the water, you would be seeking homes down near Coco Plum. Our next suburb that we're going to cover is Coconut Grove. So Coconut Grove is this region right here. It borders the water, okay? So it's more expensive. Price per square foot is a little tighter. So Coconut Grove is a very desirable area. It's where a lot of activities happening now. Is the outdoor mall in Coconut Grove got bought out and has been redone. There's a lot of great new restaurants going in there. The Key Club just opened up. We got another one called Sushi Garage, a new theater. David Grutman and his group have definitely done a fantastic job of bringing a lot of new life to the Grove. There's a lot of new high-rises that are going up in there, and the beautiful thing about Coconut Grove is its proximity to the water. So if you worked in downtown, and your ride back would be relatively short, and to get out on the water would be a 1, 2, 3. Let me show you about how I would divide Coconut Grove and the most desired spots here. So Coconut Grove, I'd say, is divided into 3 different sections, right? So you've got North Grove. Oh, here we go. North Grove is right up here into this section. We've got Main Grove here, which is where the downtown area is, which is where all the activities are. These are the restaurants I was talking about, okay? Right here would be the center of Coconut Grove, and this is just full of attractions. This is where the new Mr. C Hotel is going up. You've got the Mutiny Hotel here. This is all tree lines. This is a big park, Peacock Park, and this whole strip here down Main Highway is fantastic. It's full of restaurants, bars. They just closed down the street during COVID so that there's no traffic anymore. It's got one of the oldest dive bars that we like to frequent. It's called Barracudas. So this street now provides no traffic, and it's very nice to be able to go on the weekends and hang out outside. Chug's Diner, new spot opened up by the guys that own Ariete. They just actually got a Michelin star, and Ariete's down here. Naves, his seafood restaurant. Again, this area is fantastic. Some of the nicest eats and proximity to the urban core would be this area. Very desired, very nice. this Indian restaurant. Now that we're looking at this, Bombay Dar Bar is probably one of the best Indian restaurants in this area. Sadel's, another one opened up by Major Food Group. Great spot. Feels like you're in New York Deli. Okay. Also, some of the best private schools in Miami are along this corridor. You've got Ransom Everglades and Carrollton right here. So if you're looking to send your kid to one of these schools, these are two of the top schools in the area, and I highly would recommend these schools. Great schools. You also got Southwestern Grove, which is the area that's developing the most. So if you wanted to buy a piece of land and develop it, this is where you're going to see the most value up here in this section. Okay, there's this section here in Mid Grove. You've got a lot of like 2-story townhouses. It's kind of like brownstones, like if you were comparing it to New York. There's not a lot of space, more space in Coral Gables, Pinecrest, but your proximity into all these restaurants in this downtown area is fantastic, because you could just walk right over, or take a bike, take an Uber. Be a short ride. But Southwest Grove is where the most development's happening, and most bang for your buck would be down here, whereas Northeast Coconut Grove would be the most established, bigger lots, way more expensive. And then you've got 3 nice condo buildings here. If you were looking for condo life and a marina, you've got Grove Isles right here. Dinner Key Marina is the public marina here in Coconut Grove, and that you could also dump your boat in, keep your boat tied up. And there's also some really nice restaurants and development that is going up right here next to City Hall that soon we'll be talking about in a future video. Which takes me to my next neighborhood that I think is one of the most desirable in Miami, is South Miami. Moving a little bit further down, South Miami is a little bit inland. It is bordering Coral Gables and borders Coconut Grove. Okay, so right here where they meet, South Miami, I consider this section here. Even though Ponce Davis and High Pines aren't part of it, I would consider it also. So I'm gonna just type it in here in the map so you all can see it delineated. So here's South Miami. All right, so South Miami it borders Coral Gables, and it runs down south. Connects here with High Pines, Ponce Davis, and this little area of downtown is a great little city, very well run. Baptist Hospital is in there, which is one of the best hospitals in Miami. Hospital, bar none. You can look them up. If there's anything that happens to you, God willing it doesn't. The Baptist Hospital system is excellent, as well as the University of Miami Hospital and the Jackson hospitals, where if you were in some sort of traumatic event, that is where you would want to be. Again, so this area is right near Dayland, and this is another area that's grown a lot. There's a lot of buildings that have gone up here recently, affordable rentals in this area, and it's close to the mall, and it's very near the 826 highway and the 836 and US 1, so you can get to a lot of this area relatively quickly. But again, best attractions here in South Miami would be in this downtown area right here, close to the University of Miami. You've got Root and Bone, the Salty Donut, which has gone fantastic. And one of my personal favorites is Whisk. This is a gourmet restaurant that does like farm fresh to table. They have a lot of whatever's fresh and they can pick in downtown. They're gonna change the menu and it all rotates. You've also got Casa Cuba as a good Cuban spot. Great place to go and have a Cuban coffee and your traditional Cuban eats in this South Miami area. Okay, the shops at Sunset Place are changing right now. It used to be a very, very vibrant mall, but the same people who bought the Coconut Grove outdoor mall have, my understanding, purchased this mall and are going to revitalize it, bring in some new shops and some new life. But again, this little strip here down Sunset provides you with some of the best eats in Miami. Sports Grills are fantastic. It's the best wings in Miami. And like I said, you've got plenty of really nice homes in this area just south of US 1 that are very attractive. And I would say on the north side, you've got a more affordable area here in this pocket that I'm circling right now. But as you hit the south side and you get closer to Coral Gables, they're going to be more expensive, they're bigger lots and more protection. And as you hit a little bit further north, there are some pockets here that are also more affordable than if you are on the southern side of US 1. On this next segment, I'm going to cover Pinecrest, the suburb that is immediately bordering South Miami and Coral Gables. It borders these two towns right here down 57th Avenue. See if I get this to draw. So this is our dividing line, okay? And Pinecrest is this whole section here in pink, bordering US 1. And here is Coral Gables. And down here, South Miami, I would kind of consider this whole area here. And even though it's not incorporated, High Pines and Ponce Davis. So Pinecrest happens to be probably the most expensive of these suburbs, just because the sheer lot size. All the lots are close to acre lots in this area. So you've got some of the most expensive homes in all of South Florida. There's a lot to do. You're very close to the urban core. And let me clear this out for everybody so we can see as I zoom in a little further into Pinecrest. So Pinecrest has all the activities right here, right off of US 1, where you've got a bunch of bakeries, French restaurants, you've got Flanagan's Bar and Grill. This downtown strip here has pretty much all the attractions you need to go to eat it in Pinecrest, as well as right down here. This is a beautiful outdoor mall. It's called The Falls. The Falls has movie theater, bars, restaurants, the Ale House, Buyas Gastro Bar is a fantastic Spanish tapas restaurant. And there's a little urban area right here where you've got a bunch of gyms and an industrial section right here. So there's people who live in this area, have their businesses right here, and then they live right in Pinecrest, you know. So over here, this area is full of lush landscape. There's a couple that are tree-lined and canal-lined streets. And then my personal favorite right here is Pinecrest by the Sea. It's a gated community that connects with Gables by the Sea and borders Coral Gables, as I told you. And this is 5 blocks right here. Great little community to live in. And then there's a beautiful park right in back here. It's Chapman Park, and a beautiful, beautiful marina here in the Deering Bay Marina, which is a private golf and country club. It's a beautiful golf course right here. And the main public school that feeds into this area is Palmetto. It's a great public school as well. And then one of the best private schools in Miami is Gulliver, which is right here in this section as well. A lot of a lot of parents decided to send their kids to Gulliver. One of the biggest parks in Miami was donated by the Matheson family, and you've got the Matheson Hammock Park and Marina up here in this section. So again, Pinecrest borders all of Coral Gables, and this section would be a very desirable place to live. I would say the next suburb is Palmetto Bay. Palmetto Bay is very similar to Pinecrest, you know, just a lot more affordable. As you move a little further away from the urban core, the more space you get at a discount, so to speak. So we have a beautiful listing right now on the border of Palmetto Bay and Cutler Bay, which is actually right here next to Palmer Trinity, which is another one of the best public schools in the neighborhood in Miami. I'm sorry, private schools. Palmer Trinity is a private school, and this area is real nice. Got a lot of real big lots. And again, in terms of distance to the urban core, we're not talking very far. So I'd like to see, so you can see Palmetto Bay, Florida, to Miami. So to downtown Miami, we're not talking about, you know, we're talking about 39 minutes to downtown Miami if you work in downtown Miami. If you were gonna go to the beach, I would say you add another, 10 to 20 minutes onto that, depending on the time of day you go. There's also different routes to take as well. But Again, the most straight track on this one is that you get to go down Old Cutler, which is a beautiful tree-lined road, okay? So again, Palmetto Bay, similar to Pinecrest, very similar attractions out here. I just did a feature with Mr. Eats, who's a local food blogger, to talk about the 10, most popular restaurants, and I'll put a link up in the description to that so that you guys can take a look at that. We talked about the 10 best restaurants in that area, and I got a lot of good rapport. So if you're seeing this and you saw me on Mr. Eats, and drop a comment below and let us know what neighborhood we should hit next, so that we can cover top 10 or best spots in the next suburb of Miami. Okay, let's get into Cutler Bay. Cutler Bay, I kind of spoke on it, I touched on it, but Cutler Bay is right south of Palmetto Bay. Cutler Bay's got its own little downtown area. A lot of people in this neighborhood like to take their golf carts. They have golf carts and they come down to this downtown area right here. You've got a Rinconcito Super Latino, a Sandbar Sports Grill, and rod vendors. Again, this area is fantastic, very family oriented. People take their golf carts to the town center, and you've got a couple little communities here. Lakes by the Bay, main Cutler Bay, and want to introduce you guys to the suburbs, a little known suburbs that a lot of people don't know about in Miami, called West Miami, Westchester, and Coral Terrace. West Miami being a little square mile town. It's right next to Coral Gables. Really wants to be Coral Gables, if you ask me, with the amount of regulation that's gone on and the building that's gone on, but ultimately it's a tree-lined area. I'd say I'd highly recommend it. And we've got a listing that's about to come up in this neighborhood, so depending on when this drops, it may be available for you. We've also done a couple deals recently in Westchester. We just closed one for $715. We closed another one for $950. So just to give you a range of prices that newer redone homes in the area will move for, but you can also trade homes in Westchester, and the $500-600 range is definitely gettable. And then Coral Terrace, we just sold one in Coral Terrace, which is right in this region. The Coral Terrace region sold for, I think we just closed this high-end home for $700,000. A smaller home, but in Coral Terrace. So if you worked at Nicholas Children's Hospital and were a nurse and wanted to go there, this area is a very nice area to live in as well. Shenley Park's also right here. We got the Redbird community. These are all little communities that I'd like to highlight in future videos. So Coral Terrace being right here, Redbird being this tight section right here. Coral Terrace is this. And again, like I said, all this borders Coral Gables, which is a very, very wealthy and tree-lined Spanish Mediterranean inspired area. This Arch District right here, right here, the Bird Road Arch District is getting, there's a couple breweries that are up in here. Lincoln's Beard has great food. The Delicias España is a fantastic Spanish tapas restaurant. It's a lot of people who have their businesses right in here and operate their industrial businesses in this little industrial section, and there's still good eats right in here and really nice homes that are well priced right here by 80 Barnes Park, as well as in Coral Terrace where we just moved these houses. Again, if you have any questions about any of these areas and want me to cover them more in the next video, like, comment, subscribe, and let us know where you'd like to hit us next. Having grown up in Westchester, I can tell you that these areas are safe. They're not too far from the urban core in that they're 15-20 minute drives with no traffic to downtown Miami. You're talking traffic in the morning, depending on what time you're leaving, it's going to take you 30-45 minutes. But again, these neighborhoods are very residential. They have nice single family homes that are affordable. Under $600,000 you can have a nice home in one of these areas. Okay, then the next zone, or the next three that I would recommend to you suburb wise, are Miami Springs, which is right here, right above the airport. So if you're traveling a lot, I would recommend these neighborhoods: Miami Springs, this El Portal Miami Shores neighborhood, and lastly I would tell you Doral. It's grown a lot. This is a newer city. It's grown over the last, I'd say, 5 years. There's been a lot of development going on. You've got the Trump National Dorals right here, Universo built new offices out west out here, right by the turnpike. And so if your commute is reverse as opposed to back into traffic, living up in Doral wouldn't be a bad option for those of you who worked out west. There's good schools. Doral Academy is a great school, and I would recommend living out west if your commute was right there. So again, Miami's got a lot of traffic, so I'm a big believer in living, working, and playing where you're going to be. There's a lot of nice pockets near all of these suburbs that I just mentioned to you that you can live, eat, and play in and be very happy outside of the quote-unquote urban Miami downtown core and still be a 30-45 minute ride away. So I'll leave you with that here, and I'm going to go into each one of these individual communities in video vlogs as I'll start releasing them in the future. All right, so I've been talking to you about all the suburbs in Miami, and I want to transition into some of the, I would say, the eastern suburbs, because Miami, although it's here, it's right on the water, we've got a lot of suburbs that are right up and down the beach, and we haven't covered those. So Key Biscayne, I call it like Disneyland, right? This is Key Biscayne. This is one of the wealthiest zip codes in Miami. It's got a lot of places to park your boat. We just have a house now that we just listed in Hurricane Harbor for $15,500, and that house I believe is under contract, so this will be gone soon. It's pending inspections. Then we also have Fisher Island, which is probably the most expensive zip code in Miami, that's got a bunch of high rises, and it's got its own private golf course, marina. You got to take a ferry to get there. Then you've got south of 5th, which is a beautiful, beautiful neighborhood to live in. If you've got money, can afford to live south of 5th, gorgeous, a lot of great restaurants in this area. Then you've got Mid Beach, which covers you up to where the Fontainebleau area is, and you got the Faena, a lot of nice hotels and restaurants. You got a great hospital here. Mount Sinai Medical Center is excellent. Miami Beach Golf Club, and the private golf club up here is Lagos Country Club. Then above that, you're getting into Normandy Shores, another excellent golf course, which is close here to where these beautiful homes are on Biscayne Point, which is still affordable. You can get into Biscayne Point at a pretty good amount of money to get on the water. And then these homes around Indian Creek up in Surfside are excellent as well. And if you can get into the Bay Harbor Islands, if you're also, Bow Harbor's got some of the greatest shops in Miami. It's a great outdoor mall. You got a lot of great attractions here, and the Bow Harbor, the St. Regis Hotel, this excellent area to be in. But this is if you wanted to live on the beach and wanted to have your sand in the toes, this is where you want to be. But this is for another video. Just wanted to let you know there are some neighborhoods that aren't southwestern, which is where my focus will be. But if you'd like me to cover these areas, comment below. Let me know where you'd like to see me next. Well, to recap, all the neighborhoods we just went over, all the suburbs, we just went over Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, South Miami. We went over Pinecrest, Palmetto Bay, Cutler Bay. We talked about Westchester, Coral Terrace, West Miami, and I also mentioned to you Doral, Miami Springs, and Miami Shores. Each of these needs to be unpacked, and we're going to be doing videos in the future. So if you like this content and want to know more about a particular one, I'd like you to comment below, like, and subscribe to the channel so that we can get some more feedback from you all. So again, I want to thank you all for tuning into this video. Looking forward to talking to you more about moving Miami, highlighting Miami in a different light. Thank you.